Let me tell you a story about a night when everything went wrong, right before everything went unbelievably, impossibly right. It's about a single dad who stopped to help a stranger on a snowy road, having no idea she was the blind date he'd been dreading for weeks. But to really understand how wild that night got, you have to know where both of them were coming from, and why their collision course was the kind of twist only life itself could cook up. So picture this. Denver in late December. Snowflakes drifting sideways, the kind of cold that makes your bones feel like they're arguing with you. And on the 23rd floor of a glass apartment tower, Avery Langford, CEO of a fashion startup that everyone had once claimed would take over the industry, was standing in front of her window, seriously debating whether she could fake food poisoning convincingly enough to skip the blind date her best friend had forced her into. Avery looked like someone who had everything under control, perfect makeup, perfect posture, perfect life, but inside? She was a pressure cooker with a broken valve. Her company was 3 months away from collapse. Investors were calling her phone like it owed them money. Staff whispered behind closed doors about possible layoffs. And Avery? She hadn't slept more than 4 hours in a month. So yeah, a blind date with a stranger she didn't even want to meet? Not exactly top priority. Across town, in a tiny apartment above an auto shop that smelled like motor oil and cinnamon candles, Noah Carter was losing an argument with the two most stubborn females on planet Earth, his sister, and his 8-year-old daughter, Hazel. Hazel had positioned herself in the doorway like a miniature bouncer, arms folded, chin up. "Daddy, you promised Aunt Jess you'd go." Carters keep promises. And Noah, he tried to hold firm. He really did. But between the tie he hated, the memory of his late wife tugging at him every time Hazel said something adorable, and Jess blowing up his phone, he finally caved. One date. But if this crashes and burns, I'm blaming both of you. Hazel had just grinned, missing front tooth and all. She's pretty, Daddy. And she likes dogs and baking. I picked her. That part? Not comforting. 20 minutes later, Avery was sitting in her imported sedan on an empty road outside a neighborhood she rarely drove through, listening to her engine cough like it was auditioning for a tragic death scene. Then the car just died. Completely. No lights, no heat, no hope. When she called roadside assistance, they told her it'd be a 2-hour wait. Great. Perfect. Just the universe kicking her while she was already face down on the ground. She texted her best friend that she was going home and this was clearly a sign from God. The response came back instantly, "No. Uber. Go. You're not backing out." Avery rolled her eyes, fighting the urge to throw her phone somewhere dramatic, when headlights appeared behind her. An old blue pickup truck. Her first thought was exactly what you'd expect, this is how horror movies start. But then a man stepped out, mid-30s, broad shoulders, messy dark hair, worn jacket, hands raised slightly like, "Hey, I'm not here to axe murder you." "Ma'am, you alright? Car trouble?" Avery hesitated, then nodded. It just shut off. Mile marker 20-something. "My night is going great." His smile was warm. "I'm a mechanic. Mind if I take a look?" And she almost laughed. A mechanic showing up at the exact moment she needed one. What were the odds? He leaned under the hood with a small flashlight, did that thing mechanics do where they poke around confidently, and within seconds he said, "Your alternator's completely done. But I can patch it enough to get you wherever you're headed." "Where you going?" Avery winced. "A cafe in Cherry Creek." "I'm already late." Noah froze, then chuckled. "That's funny. I'm headed there too. Blind date disaster in the making." She shrugged. "Same. My friend set it up. I'm pretty sure she hates me." They exchanged a laugh, the kind that slips out before you realize it. They didn't exchange names. Didn't ask the usual questions. It felt strangely easy for two total strangers on a freezing road. He patched the alternator, refused money, and told her Merry Christmas like people still meant it. They followed each other to the cafe, parked side by side. He even held the door for her, something Avery hadn't seen a man under 40 voluntarily do in years. Inside, string lights glowed warm against brick walls, and the air smelled like gingerbread and espresso. The owner greeted Noah. "Carter party. Your date's here. Avery Lawrenson." And Avery, pulling off her gloves, froze. Noah turned around at the same time. "You're Avery. You're Noah." They said it in unison, and then burst out laughing like two people who had finally understood the joke the universe had been telling all night. That was the start of Act 1, the hook, the kind of impossible coincidence you'd swear was a movie script if it didn't actually happen to real people. They sat in a corner booth. For the first few minutes, they mostly just tried to process their mutual stupidity. "So you helped me on the road, with zero clue I was your date." He smirked. "My sister refused to show me your picture. Said I'd chicken out." "You?" "Oh, my friend didn't show me yours because she knew I'd run while I still had a chance." They laughed again, then ordered coffee at the exact same time. And just like that, the awkwardness faded. What Avery didn't expect was how easy Noah was to talk to. How grounded he felt. How for the first time in months, her pulse stopped racing. He told her stories about customers who tried to repair engines with duct tape and prayer. She nearly spit out her drink at the one involving a boyfriend who fixed his girlfriend's car using hot glue. "You have a good heart," she said. "You help people even when it costs you." He shrugged. "My dad used to say you can chase money, or you can sleep at night. I picked sleep." Avery felt something twist inside her, because she'd spent 2 years surrounded by sharks who didn't sleep unless they were counting profits. But then he asked about her work, and the truth poured out before she could stop it. Her company was dying. Investors wanted expansion by January 12. Only one property fit. If she failed, 160 employees would lose their jobs. Noah didn't interrupt. Didn't offer clichés. He just reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "You'll figure it out. You're tougher than you realize." And she almost cried because he believed in her more than anyone had in months. After dinner, he walked her to her car, examined the alternator, and said, "Come by tomorrow. I'll fix it properly. Shop's closed but I'll be there anyway, trying to do paperwork without falling asleep." Avery hesitated, then said something she didn't expect from herself, "Can I meet your daughter?" He blinked. "Hazel? You want to meet Hazel? Only if that's okay. You said she likes fashion." "That's my language." Noah smiled, soft, surprised, hopeful. "She'll love you. She doesn't meet many grown-ups who care about what she loves." That brings us to Act 2, the struggle and the turning point. The next afternoon, Avery stood outside the door above the garage, carrying a bag of sketch markers and fabric swatches. When Noah opened the door, Hazel shot forward like a firework, yelling, "Daddy, there's a princess here." Avery laughed harder than she had in years. Hazel dragged her inside, showing her a shoebox bursting with drawings, dresses, coats, wild imaginative shapes. Avery knelt on the floor, spread the sketches out, and realized this kid had real talent. Like, the kind Avery would have paid interns to have. She showed Hazel how to drape a bedsheet over a chair to create shapes. They giggled through terrible designs and brilliant ones. And Noah? He leaned against the kitchen doorway, coffee in hand, watching them like he was seeing something he thought he lost forever, a future. But then Hazel asked, "Are you Daddy's girlfriend?" Noah choked. Avery nearly inhaled her cocoa. Hazel kept going anyway. "Daddy needs someone nice. He's been sad since Mommy went to heaven. He thinks I don't know, but I know." The room went painfully quiet. Noah excused himself, muttering something about checking the alternator. Hazel's little face fell. Did I make Daddy upset? Avery wrapped an arm around her. No, sweetie. He just misses your mommy a lot. Hazel nodded like she'd heard it before. Aunt Jess says he needs someone to love again. That's how he smiles real. And Avery felt her heart tear a little. Then Hazel said something that turned the entire night upside down. Daddy's scared about losing the garage. Some big company wants to buy our building. Avery froze. What building? Hazel pointed straight down. This one. Carter Auto. The whole block. Avery felt the blood drain from her face. Because she knew that building. She knew the address. It was the exact property her company was trying to acquire. The one they planned to demolish. She left abruptly, shaking, Hazel calling after her. In her car, she texted her business partner 3 words, "We have to pull out." Marcus called immediately. "You can't do that. It's our only option." She told him everything, except Noah's name. Marcus's answer was harsh, "You're throwing 160 people into unemployment over a man you barely know? Is that really who you are?" Avery had no answer. 3 days passed. Noah texted her, gently at first, then with real worry. She ignored every message, torn between duty and heartbreak. On day 4, his sister Jess showed up at Avery's office unannounced, slapped a drawing onto her desk, a child's crayon picture of 3 people holding hands under a Christmas tree. Daddy, me, and Avery. And at the bottom, "Please don't leave us." Avery broke. That night, she studied the property plans, and an idea hit her like lightning. What if we build around the garage? Mixed development. Keep the business. Add our flagship above it. Everyone wins. Marcus thought she'd lost her mind. Then, slowly, he admitted, "It's genius." Which brings us to Act 3, the payoff. The victory. The controversy. Avery found Noah at the cafe, Hazel beside him. When Hazel saw her, she sprinted across the room. "I knew you'd come back." But Noah's face was guarded now, the walls rebuilt. Avery asked to talk. She slid a proposal across the table, partnership, not demolition. He read it quietly, jaw tight. "You did this, for me." Avery shook her head. "I did it for all of us. Your garage stays. Your wife's dream stays. And my team keeps their jobs." Noah's eyes filled. He whispered, "You're serious?" "More than anything I've ever done." 1 year later, the building stood complete, Carter Auto downstairs, Langford and Company flagship above. Business journals called it the blue-collar meets high-fashion miracle. Hazel designed her first dress. Noah smiled more than he had in years. And on Christmas night, in that same cafe, Noah got down on one knee and said, "Will you marry us?" Hazel screaming yes beside him. Avery said yes before he finished the sentence. But here's the part people argue about, was Avery right to risk everything for someone she barely knew? Did she choose love over logic? Or did she choose compassion over greed? Some say if the plan had failed, she would have ruined her company. Others say she proved that success doesn't have to crush the little guy. So you tell me. Was Avery a hero, or reckless? Should someone risk their career for love and ethics? Or should business always come first? Drop your take in the comments, I genuinely want to hear where you stand on this. And if you want more stories where fate twists the ordinary into something unforgettable, make sure you hit that subscribe button.